You can say what you want about me, I don't give a damn. Put me down and cuss me, but I know who I am. I'm standing here, I'm standing tall. I've been standing through it all. Drag my name through the mud, make me the talk of the town. You'll see I don't back down. Let the rumors fly, cause the truth don't die. Go ahead with the lies you spew. This song is my anthem. This middle finger's for you. Didn't get your way, you chose to betray. You wanted cake and to eat it too. I told you before, let me tell you once more, I don't care who you screw. This song is my anthem, my middle finger's for you. Drag my name through the mud, make me the talk of the town. You see I don't back down, let the rumors fly, cause the truth don't die. Go ahead with the lies you spew. This song is my anthem, this middle finger's for you. I'm standing here, I'm standing tall. I'll keep standing through it all. Do you hear what I say to you? This song is my anthem. This middle finger's for you. Let the rumors fly, cause the truth don't die. Go ahead with the lies you spew. This song is my anthem. This middle finger's for you. Drag my name through the mud, make me the talk of the town. You see I don't back down, let the rumors fly, cause the truth don't die. Go ahead with the lies you spew. This song is my anthem. This middle finger's for you.
Wow, that is a fantastic song.
Thank you very much.
No, honors on mine. I am honored actually to have Goose here on my stream today. I am so impressed with the album that he's put out that it really knocked me sideways. This is not at all what I would have expected. To be honest, I think a lot of people in the community are going to be surprised that you're a musician, let alone this good of a musician.
Well, thank you very much. Years, many years ago, I was the lead singer in a metal band in high school, a bunch of local guys. And we played a few gigs, and then I got into law enforcement. And I never lost interest because I always jotted stuff down. I hadn't wrote anything until about a year ago. And that song there, it may have been the second one that I hired someone off Fiverr after I put together like a very rough demo. And I just, kept wanting to sing my own stuff. But the thing was, I couldn't sing. And I started to practice, and I still can't sing. I'm not a singer. I hate
I don't believe that for a second.
Oh, no.
Your voice. You definitely can sing.
That is me doing line by line, word by word, and then putting everything together, and just getting the sound just the way that I wanted it. And, but I hate the sound of my own voice, especially when I sing, and honestly, thank you very much for the compliments. That means a lot to me because I sent you a rap song, a very inappropriate rap song.
I remember that.
And I told you, I'm like, don't be shocked when you read these, because my goal was to outdo the rap song WAP. And you know, that's something I'll probably never put together. I mean, you know, I'm definitely not going to sing that, but you know, you were like, oh wow, you know, and
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Well,
it's been a lot of work because I've worked on this for about a year, and it's been a lot of work, a lot of hard work, and I've not been able to sit down and do it all at one time, you know. So
I'm just completely blown away. We'll play some songs from this album, some stuff that hasn't been released yet. When does the actual full album come out there?
the actual, you can pre-order it, and it will be we will have everything on Friday. It drops, you know, publicly with everything on December the 4th. And you know, to me, it's not about money. I mean, you know, if you would like this album and you and you're in a tight spot, contact me and I will send you a Dropbox of this album for free. You know, and I'm going to post the whole thing on the Goose from the 606 channel very, very soon after it drops. But you know, I think the price of the album is like $5.99, or you can get each song for like $1.29, something like that. So,
Well, I would say it's important for the iTunes, Apple Music sales, because this will
yeah,
track how
yeah.
popular this album gets. And I think that with the proper exposure, this album would definitely be in the top 40 of modern country music. I really
Well,
do. And
thank
I've
you
heard
very
a lot
much.
of tracks off of it. And
You know,
guys, the production is amazing. You told me something before we got started. Who produced this album?
me.
Who engineered this album?
Me. This is all 100% me. You know, I will come up with most of the time, other than Moonshine and the Lord, because I came up with that song just based on the title, Moonshine and the Lord. And I thought that will be a really cool name for a song. And I started thinking about this place where I grew up at, and there is a holler, you know, and I'm from the country. I'm going to say holler, called Dark Holler. And I thought, that would be cool, you know, to kind of use in there. And so I just wrote that song based on the title in about 5 minutes. Now, then it took about 4 hours to play the actual, you know, the chords and the basic structure and patterns and all that stuff, you know.
How long have you been playing instruments? What instruments do you play, sir?
I play the keyboards a little bit. I play the guitar very, very, very shade tree. And then everything else, like the drums and the bass, you know, I had some friends. I'm like, hey, you know, what would work with this? And I, you know, used GarageBand to get what I wanted.
Wow.
Or, you know, come up with it myself, I just mixed everything together, you know.
Guys, let me tell you something. When you have an album, when you're putting together an album in a recording studio, we're talking up to millions of dollars worth of equipment. You have vintage instruments, you have console boards by Neve. A lot of money gets poured into studios where they record these songs, and a lot of expensive equipment gets used to get near the quality of album that Goose has made here. The production is just
thank you,
spot on.
And
it's so good, Goose. So good.
I'll turn my camera on real quick, and everyone can see. First off, I'm a little bit thinner than I was before. I have lost about 40 pounds.
Wow.
And this is the actual mic that I used to very badly put the album together, sing. And I used my Rode board and everything else. I just used my MacBook, and I used Fruity Loops, known as FL. I used that to structure everything once I got everything together. For the vocals, I actually used an old Sony Vegas video editing software, because I knew how to use that. I knew, you know, because in the Sony Vegas video editing software, you can with your voice and you know, just the audio, I knew how to use that inside and out. I could use it in my sleep. So that's what I used to put the basic audio together, the song structure with no music behind it. You know, like I said, some of the songs line by line, some of the songs an entire verse. Some songs, you know, like Life in the Holler, there's a really, really high note. And I actually have a guy helping me out named TK on that one. And he, you know, he does some of the stuff and I do most of the stuff. But, you know, just, I mean, there's one high note in there that I was like, you know, and we'll back away from the mic. And then I put him in and would fade myself out. But, you know, just the Sony Vegas, you know, video editing, just the audio part off that, you know, I used and then would put everything together. So
to use these tools that anybody can, you know, go in and get on a, you know, for free, like GarageBand comes for free with them app.
Yeah.
And that blows me away that you were able to pull this much out of GarageBand to get that sounding so good.
That's a lot of hours of listening to drum beats and bass lines and, you know, looping it and layering it. And, you know, some of these stuff, I mean, like the looping, I knew what looping was and, you know, putting layers on it. But some of the terms I would be like, you know, I want to find this and I want it to repeat. And, you know, then I would, you know, figured out in the editing that I could get it and then I could copy it, you know, where it would do it again where I wanted it at in the point of the song. So,
wow. Well, in Ireland, we have a phrase called dark horse, and dark horse is someone who little is known, but who unexpectedly wins or succeeds. Okay. And they are not obsessed with being excellent at one thing, but they're deeply engaged with their own thing. Goose, to me, you are a dark horse. I didn't know that you had anywhere near this music talent. When you first contacted me and were like, hey, I got these rap lyrics. And I was like, man, these are good lyrics. Like, this is definitely what you're trying to do. And I thought that was surprising. And then I found out that you played, you know, acoustic guitar a little bit, but you never, you up to this point, at least for me, I think maybe you've talked about it a little bit in the past, but predominantly you haven't talked about your musical ability or whatnot. And that just, it's a crime because I think you're so damn good.
Well,
let me go ahead and play this
very
song.
much. Thank you very much.
One
of them, I mean, my ultimate goal was to move people with my music. If I make any money off this album, you know, everyone in here, everyone watching the replay, you know, should know what type of guy I am. This will go to help people to pay it forward, you know, and that's what it will be used for. You know, and then a third and finally, you know, if I could come up with lyrics that, you know, someone would want, I mean, hey, you're, you know, just contact me. You're more than welcome to them, you know, and because they could do a lot better with it than me, you know. And
well, speaking of songs, I want to play this Moonshine the Lord. I really like this song. I've been trying to figure it out. The chords, I'll probably ask you.
Okay.
But this is a song that I'd like to cover on my set when I play locally and live. Let's go ahead and get this one. Let people hear this song. I think it's amazing.
The night of death is near.
Here, let me start that from the beginning. I think he started a little bit there. Let's give it a proper listen.
The night of death is near. A long time ago, in the head of Dark Hollow, lived a moonshiner with a preacher for a father. People came from all around Carter's shine, never let him down. His father was a preacher who sang for the Lord. Carter danced with the devil and sang as he poured moonshine in the Lord. Come and quench your thirst. Carter's shine was heaven on earth. Moonshine in the Lord, it'll quench your thirst. Carter's shine was heaven on earth. Carter's dad didn't know what young Carter did. A small town secret kept well hid. His daddy was selling the Holy Ghost while Carter was yelling, it's time for a toast. His father was a preacher who sang for the Lord. Carter danced with the devil and sang as he poured moonshine. And the Lord, come and quench your thirst. Carter's shine was heaven on earth. Moonshine in the Lord, it'll quench your thirst. Carter's shine was heaven on earth. Carter's secret was exposed. What happened next, only God knows. The preacher wasn't happy, all hell broke loose. A few days later, he was found on a noose. His father was a preacher who sang for the Lord. Carter danced with the devil and sang as he poured moonshine. And the Lord, come and quench your thirst. Carter's shine was heaven on earth. Moonshine in the Lord, it'll quench your thirst. Carter's shine was heaven on earth. Sang for the Lord. Carter danced with the devil and sang as he poured moonshine. And the Lord, come and quench your thirst. Carter's shine was heaven on earth. Moonshine in the Lord, it'll quench your thirst. Carter's shine was heaven on earth.
Wow, man. What was your inspiration for that song?
Well, like I said, that one, just the title, and I think the friend I was talking to actually said Moonshining God. And I don't even remember what we were talking about. And I thought, and I immediately wrote that down, moonshine, and I put the Lord. And, then I started thinking about, how people are, back in my area, historically, they were moonshiners, a lot of them were. And, then, like I said, the place Dark Holler, I thought, that would be cool to use that. And I sent the demo of that to my uncle early on, and it was really rough demo. And his question was, when he came back, he's like, who died, Carter or the dad? I said, well, that's up to you to decide. I left it open for you to decide. And he said, well, I think the dad died. I said, hey, that works for me, and, but, I really just the title, Moonshine the Lord, and thinking about the place where I grew up at, and the area Dark Holler is what inspired me to write that.
That song, to me, the feel is almost like 90s alternative kind of grunge meets country. And that's not something I've ever heard before personally. So I think that's a really cool mix-up or genre bender, if you will.
Well, thank you very much. When I first put that together, and I actually thought about putting that out first before Time, but I thought that the Old Regular Baptist and the people at the beginning are Old Regular Baptist. That's Old Regular Baptist Church, and that's how they sing songs. One will sing it, and then everyone will sing after. And I thought, if I could find something that's, just a little bit, talking about death, and I stumbled across that, and I'm like, oh, and I, got up with the people that posted it, and I'm sure the Old Regular Baptist people that were singing it will probably never know, but they're like, yeah, definitely use that. I'm like, I'm just going to use just a few. They're like, yeah, do whatever. So, that's actual Old Regular Baptist. And that was the kind of, church that, I was raised in. My grandfather, and I told you a little bit backstage, not to get sidetracked, he was a deacon, my whole life in an Old Regular Baptist church. And sadly, he was 90 and he passed away last night at about 6 p.m. That was Mother Goose's dad.
Oh,
and,
man.
He was like a second father to me. And I can say I'm the person I am today because of him. I watched how he interacted with people, how he did things, how he talked to people, his love for his fellow man. And, you know, I mean, I am the way I am, you know, because of him. And I actually have a demo that I did and put out early on, but I'm going to touch that up. And if I ever do a second album, I'll definitely put the song Arthur on there, you know, because back when I was doing the podcast, I interviewed him I got about a half-hour interview, and I've got some tracks and stuff put together that I'm going to use in the song as well. And I used part of it when I put a demo out earlier this year. So.
Wow, man. Well, I'm very sorry for your loss. I
you.
did say that backstage, but I now understand what a pivotal person that was in your life. And you know, you saying that you're the man you are because of him, he must have been one hell of a man, because there's a lot of divisive personalities in this YouTube community.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
people hate other people, but very few people are universally loved. And Goose is definitely, in my opinion, someone who's universally loved in this community and known as a good guy. And you continually impress me with, you know, how you act and how you carry yourself and the decisions you make. It very much impresses me, and it's something that, you know, I aspire to do, not to be so damn divisive, but then again, I'm opinionated as hell, so I have a hard
Right.
problem with that. But he must have been one hell of a man. One hell of a man.
He was the best man I have ever met. I mean, and I'm getting a little emotional over what you said. Thank you very much, and everyone in chat, I will pass that along to Mother Goose, and thank you guys very much for your kind words and your support. And he was a great guy. I mean, he really was, and he had a good sense of humor. You know, and I even got my sense of humor from him. You know, his was a lot cleaner than what mine was. But I will tell you one quick story that I'm going to tell on Monday at his funeral. About 2 years ago, I took him to a doctor appointment, and because he had skin cancer on some spots, and he had a place on his finger.
Okay.
And I will never forget when he come in, you know, he's like, I'm not going to show him this. He's like, I actually took a pocket knife and cut it off before. And I'm like, well, Papa, you shouldn't have done that. He's like, well, it's grew back. He's like, I'm not going to show him this. So the nurse comes in and, you know, is getting his vitals and stuff. And she goes back out of the room, and he's like, well, she's a cute little woman. And, you know, he tells me this in private. So when she comes back in, she notices his finger where he had cut the spot off. And she's like, well, what is that? How did it, you know, and she could tell that he had tried to cut it off just by looking at it. Okay. And he's like, well, I don't know. I said, well, I know what it is. And him and the nurse both stopped and looked at me, and they said, what? I said, it's a booger. He just got done picking his nose. His face turned 10 shades of red. And he looked at me, and the nurse looked at him, and she said, he's trying to embarrass you, Arthur. He said, yeah, he's good at that. So,
well, on that note, let's go ahead and play Time. Real quick before I play the song. The album is called the 606, or the hashtag 606.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's I guess a number sign. Okay. And that is the area code from where I live at in East Kentucky. So
wow. Well, I was going to ask kind of why that particular number. So there we go. I'm going to go ahead and play Time now, and we'll be back in a second. If anybody has any questions for Goose and about this album, or, you know, in general, go ahead and throw them in the chat, and we'll put them up and on the screen here. Okay. Here's Time.
To all my friends from
Apologies, folks. Here it is, starting again.
to all my friends from high school. I wonder how you're doing now. Did your life give you what you wanted? Or is there more story to tell? Did you shake the dust from this little town off? Or do your roots run too deep? No matter what life has dealt you, enjoy the fruits that you reap. There's a time to dance, there's a time to cry, there's a time to spread your wings and fly. There's a time to laugh, there's a time to mourn, there's a time to be reborn. Life is quick, life is fast. Live each day like it's your last. That's a lesson I learned a few years ago. When you're young, you think you know all there is to know. There's a time to dance, there's a time to cry, there's a time to spread your wings and fly. There's a time to laugh, there's a time to mourn, there's a time to be reborn. Life can be so hard at times, so damn cruel. No matter what you got going, remember that golden rule. In life you get one shot, so give it all you got. If you don't try, you won't know. Start today and reap what you sow. There's a time to dance, there's a time to cry, there's a time to spread your wings and fly. There's a time to laugh, ooh, there's a time to mourn, there's a time to be reborn. There's a time to dance, there's a time to cry, there's a time to spread your wings and fly. There's a time to laugh, there's a time to mourn, there's a time to be reborn.
Holy smokes, man. That is freaking fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry. I just had to give me a second there. So I had to, I was just, the impact of that song is very, for me, it was profound. The pianos at the end was just beautiful, really, really well done. I mean, my only complaint would be more piano on that track would be beautiful, but it's so perfect. It's a great song. I mean, if you listen to that song, you would in no way think that that was done on somebody's MacBook. You would think that's a highly produced song on modern country radio. Like that would fit in with any of the songs that are on modern country radio today, in my opinion.
Well, and I mean, my goal was just to have a good sound and just put it out, the way that I wanted to. And, again, I'm not a singer. It would sound a lot better if somebody else was singing the song. And, I actually got in touch with some people before I started doing this. And, and there's some people I know in the country music business that I grew up with. One of them I know really good. I stayed all night at his house when I was a little boy. And, we've, messaged back and forth a little bit. And, but you don't come out and you're like, hey, would you like to play this? Now this guy did tell me years ago, he's like, hey, if you ever, I hadn't wrote, and then he told me this in 2005. He's like, if you ever come up with something you think we need to hear, just send it to me and I'll send it up the ladder, but I don't want to come out and be like, hey, here's, but we were just, sharing some childhood memories back and forth and talking and this and that. And, I'm like, I've been writing a little bit again, and we, it kind of progressed, from there and so forth. And, he was, a great friend years ago, and very a lot more talented than what I am. Musician.
You speak like you can't sing, but you can absolutely sing. And I know this is produced, but dude, your voice is very powerful. It's very good on these songs. I would
Thank you.
honestly, you need to, I think maybe might be your one weakness is that you don't have enough faith in yourself, because I remember when you contacted me,
Mhm.
over that rap song and another
Yeah.
song you wrote lyrics for. And unfortunately, I had my health problems soon
Right.
after. But what blows my mind is you don't really need much of anyone to make something happen. You produced this, you engineered it, you wrote these songs,
Mhm.
you play the keyboards, you play the guitar on these tracks. You've brought in some people from Fiverr to fill it out and had some friends on drums and
Right.
stuff. But
Right.
I mean, because you can't possibly pay every instrument. I mean,
No.
very few people can do that. But it blows me away. Your voice on this is very, very good, and I have to say that yeah, this is probably one of the best albums I've heard come out of our YouTube community, and I think this is definitely deserving of a lot of promotion. What's next? Are you thinking about doing gigs? Are you thinking
Uh,
about
no,
music videos?
that has never crossed my mind because I was really, really nervous about putting this out, but I had it almost finished and I knew I was going to. And, you know, I sent some stuff to Shoddy, and he gave me his opinion on it. And he's like, you really have to do this. I don't think I sent you that one, that song. There's one song on the album called Free that's more of a rock song.
Okay.
And it is about, someone that is intoxicated and hit and kill someone and gets sentenced to prison, and they serve their time and they get out, and they're trying to move on. And he's like, this is the best song I've ever heard. And I'm like, thanks, man. Thanks a lot. I've thought about, putting it on an album and putting an album out, because I've been working on it. And he kind of knew that, but he kind of didn't. And he's like, you really need to do that. I'm like, man, this is nerve wracking though. I'm like, I hate this. And I told him, I'm like, I hate the sound of my own voice. He's like, this is really good. And, so I just went ahead and just went for it. And,
Your voice is very powerful. You're always in key. It sounds very good, very polished. There are a lot of people out there that can't sing as well as you, then that doesn't stop them from putting it on records, and
right.
and they're accepted as being good. Like, I think this was a very good performance, product that you put out here, this album. People, do me a favor. There's Goose's channel there. Please sub to his channel. Another thing is, this album comes out on Friday on iTunes. Goose is going to put out the album on his YouTube, free for everyone to listen to.
Yeah.
But if you can afford it, I'm going to do it. You need to purchase the album, because that will show in the in the stats of how his album is doing and how it is selling and stuff. And keep in mind, I don't think there's really much of a plan to promote this album, or am I wrong?
Well, there is, I am going to, you asked me backstage a little bit about videos, and that is something that, I have thought a lot about. This time of the year, you can't really, there's one song in particular on this album. I mean, there's a handful of songs that I feel really good about, but there's one that I've been told by my harshest music critic, this is really, really good. And I thought that Mother Goose would be offended by this. And she's like, this is really catchy. And that one was Redneck Style. And
I think we should play that one next. I don't know how about you think, but I think we should play that one next.
Definitely. Because this is one I've got a really good feeling, and I would love to do a video with it. And if you're from the South, or if you love, just mudding and monster trucks, and just, I guess apple pie and
all them good things.
then this song's for you. So
okay, well, let's play that one. When did you first pick up guitar? What age?
Probably 8 years old, very badly. And then then as a teen, I got really, decent at it. I would have made a good backup studio player, and then I, through the last 30 years, I've picked it up on and off. And then back around last Christmas, when I started writing again, I started picking it up again. And I'm a little bit slower now, because I'm, I'll be 50 next month. And, but, I can with modern technology, I got the sound the way that I wanted, just like I did with the singing. So,
Okay, that's great. 1 second here. I think you sound great on that album.
thank you, brother. Good morning, little Mama P. Good to see you.
Good to see you, little Mama P. Angela Fender, good to see you. Oliver Twisted, never. I don't think I've seen you before, and probably have, but I just don't remember. Welcome, Harley MF Davidson. Welcome. Man, this is great getting these people in here and getting exposure to this album. I'm gonna go ahead and play now Redneck Style. Let me get this fired up here. And I haven't heard this song yet myself, to be honest, so I'm ready to do it.
Well, you are in for a treat, and I just emailed you a link for free too. The one I was.
Okay, we'll play that one too.
So,
all right, y'all, here it goes.
Means my girl is here. Hot up in the Jeep and she blows in my ear. Mean little grin comes across her face. She don't care where the time or place. She's got redneck style. She's got redneck grace. My redneck girl with a pretty face. Her body beats all I've ever seen. A little devil inside my redneck queen. The way she moves, the way she talks, her fine ass and the way she walks, and yoga pants and cut off jeans. That's my girl, she's my redneck queen. Stashed in the front, if you know what I mean. Redneck style, redneck grace. That redneck girl makes my heart race. Redneck style, redneck grace. My redneck girl, yeah. She's all class. I can't keep myself from staring at her ass. She's got redneck style. She's got a redneck grace. My redneck girl with a pretty face. Her body beats all I've ever seen. A little devil inside my redneck queen. She can talk the talk, she can walk the walk, get old work boots and cut off jeans. She's stashed in front like you've never seen. She's got a redneck style. She's got a redneck grace. My redneck girl with a pretty face. Her body beats all I've ever seen. A little devil inside my redneck queen. She talk the talk, she can walk the walk in old work boots and cut off jeans. She's stacked in front like you've never seen. She's got a redneck style. She's got a redneck grace. My redneck girl with a pretty face. Her body beats all I've ever seen. A little devil inside my redneck queen. Redneck style, redneck grace. That redneck girl makes my heart race. Redneck style, redneck grace. My redneck girl, yeah. She's on class. I can't keep myself from staring at her ass. She's got a redneck style. She's got a redneck grace. My redneck girl with a pretty face. With body beats all I've ever seen. A little devil inside my redneck queen.
Damn, dude.
And like I said, after Mother Goose, was fine with me saying ass over and over, and she's like, "This is really, really, really good." I started getting a good feeling about that song. That one was a lot of fun to write. It took like 5 minutes or less just to come up with the lyrics to that, and I had a third verse, and it never fit, so I just cut it off. I just cut the third verse off, and it was something like, she pulls up the creek, she grabs my hand, I'm so happy, I'm a redneck man. Down at the water, she smiles again, takes off her boots, and jumps right in. But it just it didn't really fit once I put everything together, so I just cut that out.
So far, every song I've heard on here is a single. I mean, I mean that. I mean, it's like a single. It's like a single. Like a lot of albums have filler songs that aren't that great. I mean, it's just the way life is. Every one of these songs to me is a singer. It's a single. This is amazing.
Thank you very much.
It really is. I know very little about music promotion, but you need to get a promoter because this needs to go on the radio.
Yeah, well, I mean, thank you very much. I mean, I'm speechless. I really don't know what to say to that, brother. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you very much.
We got to get this in front of Upchurch or something. I mean, I think that what you've done here is fantastic, but I also think that you go on the independent route is absolutely amazing. It's so important to go the independent route.
Oh yeah,
and and there are challenges in that because you don't have access to that immediate promotion that,
right?
In my opinion, artists aren't nearly as good, making music nearly as good as this.
Right.
I think that we need to get this heard. This needs to get out there. I would say, please, share these tracks that are on the YouTube, on Goose's YouTube there, the channel's shown. Please share those tracks with your family and friends. Thanksgiving's tomorrow. Maybe instead of arguing, you listen to some Goose.
Yeah, you can listen, talking about looking at a girl's ass as you,
Grandma, you're going to love this one.
Yeah, you're going to love this one, Grandma. So, thank you very much. Thank you. I have not done it yet, but I have researched about like sending stuff out to other countries. There's a guy from my area named Tony Sloan, and I can't remember the name of the song, but he had a song about 3 years ago that hit really big in Africa, I think. Okay. And it was kind of a country, it was him and the acoustic guitar. But I cannot think of the name of that. And Tony, if you're listening to this, I apologize for that. But, I have looked at that just a little bit. So, but, awesome. Like I said, I want to move people, with my words. I want to hopefully be able to help more people than I have with this, and, if I can, sell these to anyone that is, like I said, a lot bigger, that could put it out to bigger audience, I'm open for that,
and that's another aspect of your personality, Goose. Like this isn't going to be like, I don't want it to come off as I talk positively like this about very few people, but you can see it in your actions. You've been very charitable to people. You've always been trying to help people. That's not something that's just said like in passing with you when you say, I want to help people. You definitely do. But I think in this case, man, honestly, this is good. And this is more than good enough. It surpasses good enough. This needs to get heard. And I think, we need to get you heard. We need to have Goose help Goose on this one because it is too good not to be heard, man. I mean, it really isn't. I'm not saying that radio play is validation, but people hearing this, the YouTube views, the purchasing on iTunes, etc. I would really like to see that blow up because it deserves it. And a lot of times, the big fear with me is I've been into music my whole life, but I did a lot of stuff in the early 2000s and late 90s with indie bands and stuff, and we didn't have the same power of the internet that we have now, like in terms of social media. But it was always a challenge to get that artist out there. And I think one of the things you might want to consider, I think would work out really well for you, is playing live. I know it makes you very nervous.
Yes, it does.
But I think it's something you could pull off, definitely. I think it's something you should try to do, or at least think about it.
I will think about it.
Okay.
I will definitely think about it. I do want to add too that once the album does come out, and after, there's a waiting period on YouTube to change your username. When I uploaded this to Apple and Spotify, I had to change the spelling of Goose to GOOS and the number 3. I am going to change my YouTube to match that.
Okay.
The album artwork has been updated before it hit stores, and I had to spell it that way because there was someone else that was already named Goose, and Goose from the 606 was just too long. So, I chose Goose, Goos, with the number 3 sign instead of the E. So, hey,
I mean, that redneck style, that's the kind of song you can just pump up on your truck and crack a couple beers open to and drink. I think that's a great song. That's really good.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think I sent you too, and you don't have to play it right now, but I think I sent you It's a Party. That one's another one that is kind of along the style of redneck style. No pun intended there. But that was when I wrote. Now that one took a little while. That one took a series of months because I would write a line or a verse and I would get stuck, and then I would come back and I start working on something else, and then I would come back and I would pick up and write it. But I only had that one finished. It's a Party about 2 weeks ago, probably not even 2 weeks ago. And I finished the writing and composing, and then finally got it put together. And my oldest grandson Bryson, he's a huge music fan. He loves music, and he likes that one as well. And his mother has not got onto me for I don't think he listened to it yet, but for letting him listen to it. So
okay. That's awesome here. Sorry, I just read a comment that was funny.
Oh, yeah.
So I tell you what, guys, I think we're gonna play a few more of these songs here. I just want to ask real quick. You used to have a podcast. I really liked it. Here to Chew Bubblegum. Why did you decide to end that off? Just to focus on this album, or
and I'm going to turn my camera on for this, so everyone can see me. My mother-in-law got cancer, and she's in remission. She's beat it for the 3rd time, and then my stepdad, my mother Goosey's husband, he got sick. And I had to push the times back and forth, and that affected Justin's schedule. And then in June, and this is why I kind of dropped off YouTube just a little bit. In June, my stepdad passed away. And so my mom had a really rough time. I mean, she had a really rough time from June to about August. And then from August, I guess through October, the end of October, I got her moved. I'm actually at her apartment right now.
okay.
I got her moved closer to me because she was about an hour away, and now she's about 12 minutes away from me. And so, I've been, and then she had been taking care of my grandfather. She'd been staying with him, during the week, and her other sister and my other aunts had been staying with him on weekends, and she'd been staying here. And, like I said, I've got 2 grandsons that are my world, and I've been, taking, like I said, doing all the stuff with my mom, being with my grandsons like I always am, because they stay, with us about 3 to 4 days a week. And that's everything that's went on was a very, very stressful situation. And writing and music helped me get my mind off things. And I also, in April, and I think I talked about it on one of mine and Uncle Will's podcast to stream, which hopefully we'll be starting back up soon, is I found my love for motorcycle riding again in April. And I have done a lot of that in my free time, which is like 1 day a week. I've been riding my motorcycle, and hopefully next May, I'm going to take 2 weeks, pack my bike up, and I'm going to head out on Route 66 and just drive, and just drive west. And that's something I've always wanted to do, and I'm going to do it. And, there's a song on the album, I don't think I sent it to you. It's called Dust on the Highway. It's about riding a motorcycle, and, how thrilling it is to twist the throttle and away we go. And, that's been, the wind therapy has helped me a lot.
You've been a lot on that bike. In fact, I saw that you went down to Paintsville, Kentucky, and got yourself a chicken basket down there.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And one thing,
how was it?
It was delicious. It was.
I gotta go get me one.
That was the most delicious chicken basket I have ever ate. And touching on that a little bit, the girl still works there. Or no, wait, she was allegedly terminated. One of them were, but it was for something else. But that's what I was told. But as I was leaving, I saw her going to Dairy Queen. So, I'm not real sure if they hired her back after they let her go for, people
Bullshit.
complaining. Yeah, bullshit. Just call it as you see it. It was straight up bullshit.
Yeah, totally.
But
The whole thing was weird. I'm not gonna try to make the live about that, but that whole thing was weird. And what happened to Gotcha Man? I mean, that was some prosecutorial misconduct. If I ever saw
that was, and I'd actually talked to Gotcha Man behind the scenes, and Shoddy was going to help me. And Shoddy, I'll go ahead and drag you in on this. I had come up with, the Lonnie Noble character. Just he don't care for anything, and Lonnie Noble was going to go. What the next video was going to be, going into the county attorney's office and wanting to file charges and pull out a picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger. And Shoddy was going to be filming everything. And Lonnie was going to say he wanted to file charges on this man because he said stuff about him on the internet and see how they respond. And but everything got worked out with the Gotcha Man, where Lonnie didn't have to make an appearance and go do that. So
oh man, I tell you what, it shocked me when I thought that paper was going to be completely fake. It shocked me that was real. I was like,
yeah, and it did me too, because I can't believe that they did that, and that made me question. And you can go back and listen to my call to Mike Endicott. I asked him if anyone,
I didn't know you made a call to Mike Endicott.
It's one of the videos that I put out on the Static Noise page. I asked him if anyone else was going to be prosecuted if they came to Dairy Queen and ate, and he said no. So, I mean, that's basically it, I mean, and it was just total horse shit,
In the end, I think that we know from Johnny telling us that Johnny was an informant, a paid informant. Yeah. And I think that for whatever reason, I guess Endicott feels indebted, or Johnny's got something on him, but it was very strange.
There's something there. So I mean, there has to be. There has to be something there. So
yeah, it's very strange. And the funny fact was, Endicott was telling Gotcha Man, just don't come down to Paintsville, Kentucky, or just don't come into the state of Kentucky stop, and you'll be okay. What?
Yeah, and who is going to tell somebody that? You're basically telling them how to avoid charges and break the law. You're not going to do that.
No, prosecutors should not be doing that.
No, definitely not.
I'm gonna play this next song here, y'all, and we'll be right back after that. 1 second.
Riding high with whiskey on my breath. Thought I had it all before life met death. One wrong turn, a moment of regret. Traded my freedom for a night I can't forget. A 6x6 is my new home. Lost my name for a number, served my time to a zone. Now I'm walking out with sunshine on my face. No longer there, not even a single trace. 'Cause I'm free at last, yeah, I'm finally free. No more chains to hold me down, I'm breaking free. Through the darkness and the pain, I found my release. Now I'm walking a different path. Yeah, I'm finally free. I'm free at last. Yeah, I'm finally free. No more chains to hold me down. I'm breaking free. Through the darkness and the pain, I found my release. Now I'm walking a different path. Yeah, I'm finally free. It was my own fault. Too many drinks and got caught. That night plays in my head. I took a life and inside I'm dead. Maybe now I can move on and start to live. Maybe now I can move on and start to forgive. I will be free. Let this burden go and be me. No more chains to hold me down. I'm breaking free. Through the darkness and the pain, I found my release. Now I'm walking a different path. Yeah, I'm finally free. Yeah, I'm finally free. No more chains to hold me down. I'm breaking I'm breaking free. Through the darkness and the pain, I found my release. Now I'm walking a different path. Yeah, I'm finally free. Yeah, I'm finally free. Yeah, I'm finally free.
Damn, dude, I could definitely hear that as a part of a movie soundtrack. That
Thank
is
you very
freaking
much. You know,
excellent, man.
that's Shotty's favorite song that I've ever seen him. You know, Shotty's a very talented musician as well.
He
Very
is.
talented.
Yeah, Shouty is. I'm friends with him on IG. We regularly talk a lot of music and guitar and
Yeah.
stuff. He's,
With everything going on, I have not this summer and stuff. I've not been on IG probably since July or August. I'm going to try to get back on there, but you know, I'm not currently on there. Fusion, thank you very much for that comment, man. But there's only one up church, so.
oh, that's very kind of you to say. I'm gonna go ahead and put your. If one of my mods could put. Well, no, I'll just do it here. I'll do it here. Go ahead. Sorry, just got that in my head.
Also,
go ahead.
everyone that has stopped in and commented, and everyone that will listen to this, you know, on the rerun, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, and you know, I want to wish each and every one of you a very, very, very happy Thanksgiving. Please, you know, tolerate your loved ones, even the ones that get on your nerves. I have to tolerate my younger aunt currently, but you know, just because life is short, and you know, pay it forward and enjoy the holidays, you know, and you know, family is everything. Thank you very much, Christy. I miss you too. I will hopefully, you know, and I've talked to Uncle Will some, you know, hopefully we'll be coming back doing a stream very soon, and you know,
great.
hopefully it'll be like a regular thing. And because there's been a lot going on, you know, in the UFO circles, and the government coming forward and again basically saying they exist, but we're not going to tell you, you know. I'll tell you in a closed setting, you know. I mean,
exactly. In a skiff.
Yeah.
That's something that me and you definitely are have a shared interest in, is the paranormal stuff and you know, finding the truth behind that. We should do a stream on that, but I'm we can talk about it if you want, but I tell you what, like I'm just so impressed. Like, anybody who doesn't know might have popped in here. I was at the beginning. Goose did not only write these songs and play guitar and keyboards on them, but he produced and engineered this album. He engineered it. I could not engineer an album this well. I mean, and I'm not a professional engineer by any means, so that's not a big thing, but neither are you. You learned how to engineering this album. It is top 40 radio quality, and you have engineered it all by yourself.
Yeah,
that
I did. That was a lot of trial and error. That was a lot of watching YouTube videos. That was a lot of buying software that I could use, and then going back and watching more tutorials, and forgetting to save everything and losing it, and then going back and putting it together again. And you know, like I said, it was a very, very tedious process. And you know, but I mean, I am happy with it. You know, the words, and that's one thing I wanted to do with the album. I wanted to. I mean, even before because I sent you songs here and there, you know, the order of the album, I started it, and, you know, it is done that way for a reason. The order of the album, the songs. Now, the last song on the album, track number 12, is Life in the Holler. And yes, I put that out before with a rough demo with a demo singer. But this version that's on the album is the same, but it's different as well. But it ends, and I wanted to end the album like with, you know, if you were at a concert, you know, when they come out for their final encore and they're playing their final song, the ending of that song, Life in the Holler, I really think that it got the feel of if you were at a show watching your favorite band or singer, you know, hit you get that feeling when that's over. That's the feeling it gives me anyway, and that was my goal. That was what I wanted to do with that.
Well, there's so many different genres on this album. I mean, you have that kind of Southern Gothic, with the, you know, that Southern Gothic, really cool, kind of the dark sound on the Moonshine. I'm sorry, I'm saying it wrong. Moonshine in God or Moonshine in the Bible. I can't remember what it was.
Moonshine in the Lord.
Moonshine in the Lord. Sorry, that's the one that I can feasibly see myself covering it, and I want to cover.
Well, yeah,
live.
please. I mean, it's just the basic chords, C, G,
Oh, yeah.
D, E minor. I mean, that's just basically it. So
Well, I'm gonna force you to collab with me now that I've heard how good you are. I'm gonna get
definitely,
you to engineer my show.
brother. I would love to. I mean, it would be an
That'd be
honor,
awesome. Thank
man.
you.
I mean, it
It'd be
really
an
would
honor for me.
No, it would be an honor for me. Trust me. Seriously. Thank
Well,
you very much.
Well, I think we've been here about an hour. I'm going to go ahead and cut this loose, but I'm going to play us out with what I think to me is the breakout hit on this album. I mean, there's at least 3 or 4, no, I'd say 5 singles on this album, like 5 quality singles that I've heard so far. And keep in mind, folks, I haven't heard all the songs on this album. I'm going to download and buy the album tomorrow. It's going to be on iTunes. Do sub to Goose's channel there.
Thank you.
And so we can get this out. He'll have the album up there.
Yeah.
I believe in its entirety at some point to stream.
Yes,
But if you could share this stuff, send it to friends and stuff, say, hey, give this a listen. I would really like to see this album get the attention it deserves and help out our buddy Goose here. I've had this is horrible. I've had people come to contact me and say, hey man, this is my new track or whatever. Share this, blah, 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 blah. And it's horrible, and I can't in good faith say, I'll try to encourage them. That isn't happening here. This is genuinely something. If you share it, people are going to go, hey man, that's a damn good song. Thanks for sending that to me. So you're doing somebody a favor by sharing this album, in my opinion. But there's a couple good tracks up on Goose's YouTube page right now. The album will drop tomorrow, Friday, day after Thanksgiving. Yeah. Sorry, not tomorrow, day after Thanksgiving, on iTunes. Buy it if you can. Is this going to be on Spotify as well at some point?
It will be on Spotify. It will be on Amazon. It will be on the Google Music, Google Store, whatever. It will be on all. I mean, there's an entire list of the platforms it will be on.
Okay, great.
And again, thank you, Dan. Thank you, everyone in chat. Christy, I absolutely will. Crystal, thank you. Sean, thank you. Kay, thank you. Barendorf, everyone, thank you. And if I missed anyone, I'm sorry. Thank you guys very much. And again, happy holidays.
Absolutely. Everybody have a good turkey day. I'm going to play us out this song. I want to thank my mods, Christiane, Angela, Sooner History, Mr. Fusion for popping by. Great to have you. JM for popping by. Great to have you. I'll be live again probably tomorrow or Friday, day after Thanksgiving, for a bit of fun. And also big thank you to Kay. I'm here because when she's here, the stream's always good. And this was a damn good stream. She's my good luck charm. I don't know why, but she is. Thanks all. I'm going to go ahead and play this song now. Thank you, Goose, for coming out and seeing us.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you, sir. I'm going to pump this up now.
Means my girl is here. Hop up in the Jeep and she blows in my ear. Mean little grin comes across her face. She don't care where the time or place. She's got redneck style. She's got redneck grace. My redneck girl with a pretty face. Her body beats all I've ever seen. A little devil inside my redneck queen. The way she moves, the way she talks, her fine ass and the way she walks, and yoga pants, her cut off jeans. That's my girl, she's my redneck queen. Stashed in the front, if you know what I mean. Redneck style, redneck grace. That redneck girl makes my heart race. Redneck style, redneck grace. My redneck girl, yeah, she's all class. I can't keep myself from staring at her ass. She's got redneck style. She's got a redneck grace. My redneck girl with a pretty face. Her body beats all I've ever seen. A little devil inside my redneck queen. She can talk the talk, she can walk the walk, get old work boots and cut off jeans. She stacks in front like you've never seen. She's got redneck style, she's got redneck grace. My redneck girl with a pretty face. Her body beats all I've ever seen. A little devil inside my redneck queen. Talk the talk, she can walk the walk in old work boots and cut off jeans. She's stacked in front like you've never seen. She's got a redneck style, she's got a redneck grace. My redneck girl with a pretty face. Her body beats all I've ever seen. A little devil inside my redneck queen. Redneck style, redneck grace. That redneck girl makes my heart race. Redneck style, redneck grace. My redneck girl, yeah, she's on class. I can't keep myself from staring at her ass. She's got a redneck style, she's got a redneck grace. My redneck girl with a pretty face, but body beats all I've ever seen. A little devil inside my redneck queen.